Coming up on the Extra Point, we'll talk about the title game of the Conference USA Tournament.
And later on the Extra Point, find out how 7 Hilltopper football players are chasing their NFL dreams.
Thanks for tuning in to the Extra Point. I'm Elizabeth Medley.
And I'm Sarah Mills.
Sarah, after waiting almost a year, they finally let us anchor together. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling so excited. We have a stacked show with basketball, baseball, softball, and even NASCAR. Are you ready to talk some sports?
I'm ready. Semifinals of the Men's Basketball Conference USA Tournament, the Hilltoppers traveled to Texas to take on the Golden Eagles of Southern Miss. The game took place last Friday and ended with WKU taking the win with a final score of 70-59. Tavion Hollingsworth led WKU's offense with 17 points, while Charles Bassey dominated defensively with 14 rebounds. This win advanced the Tops to the 2019 Conference USA Championship. The Hilltoppers played Old Dominion this past Saturday in the Conference USA Championship game. The Tops battled neck and neck throughout the entire game, but failed to take away a victory from the Monarchs. Charles Bassey carried the Tops offensively, but it wasn't enough when matched up with the Monarchs' Xavier Green, who had 16 points. The final score was 62-56, a nail-biter for sure. The results named the Old Dominion Monarchs the 2019 Men's Basketball Conference USA champions.
I knew I had to make plays. I knew I had to do something to keep our team going, get a spark going offensively. I knew they were all ganging up on Ahmad and BJ, so I knew that I had to come in and do something.
You know, with the success that we've had, we're very proud of that. But the one threshold that we hadn't crossed, was getting to the tournament, and we knew we needed to get there. And fortunately for us, you know, we kicked in the door today.
All right, so this is the time where we're going to talk a little bit about WKU basketball season. I know a lot of us were a little bit disappointed. We didn't really think the season went as we expected it to. Especially with Western Kentucky losing against ODU in the conference championship game.
Yeah, WKU was neck and neck with Old Dominion the entire game, but it just wasn't enough to carry away with the win. And I think the main problem was they lacked their offensive skills. They couldn't even get the ball to Charles Bassey, who only scored 12 points the entire game, which isn't how he usually plays. I
know, I definitely agree. And not only that, but they missed 8 free throws. That's insane. That usually never happens. And I feel like that really cost us the game. If we would have made those free throws, we would have won by 3 points.
I had a coach that told me you can't win a game without free throws. So hopefully they'll implement that in practice for next season and carry that from practice to the court. So what do you think went wrong this season?
I just think WKU really had the talent, but they lacked the consistency, lacked the discipline, especially with winning at St. Mary's, West Virginia, Wisconsin. But you never know. Next season might be better, so we'll see.
Well, that's enough about basketball. Let's talk about Pro Day. Former WKU basketball player Cliff Dixon was shot and killed early yesterday morning. Dixon was celebrating his birthday when he was shot outside of a club in Atlanta. Dixon played for the Hilltoppers until he was dismissed from the team in 2011 for a violation of rules. Dixon was only 32 years old. The incident is still under investigation. WKU baseball played UAB this past weekend in a 3-part series and played Austin Peay last Tuesday. The Toppers came away with a sweep of winning all 3 games, making their Conference USA record 3-0. This excitement didn't last long as the Toppers took a 3-5 loss against Austin Peay on Tuesday. The Tops were in the lead for the first 4 innings, but the Governors came back by scoring 4 runs in the 5th inning. WKU tried to bounce back by scoring 2 more runs, but it wasn't enough to come away with a victory. Need some weekend plans? The Lady Tops will be playing Charlotte all weekend long at the WKU softball complex. The Lady Toppers are having a very successful season so far, having a 19-5 winning record. Shannon Pleas and Rebecca Englehart are the current high scorers, with Kennedy Sullivan dominating as the pitcher, with a high of 17 strikeouts in a single game. Last year, the Lady Tops defeated the 49ers twice, while losing the last game 0-3. The games will begin on Saturday at 1 p.m. and later in the afternoon at 3. The final game will take place on Sunday at 1. The Black and Gold Invitational for track and field will be held this Friday through Saturday at Vanderbilt University. Over 30 Hilltoppers are set to compete in the 31 events over the weekend. The Invitational will include both field and running events starting at 4 p.m. on Friday, with the last race starting at 4:50 on Saturday. WKU completed their last outdoor season with a total of 3 event titles and 20 top 10 finishes in the Invitational last year. This will be the official start to the WKU track and fields outdoor season.
March Madness is officially underway. Coming up on the Extra Point, we'll give you all you need to know about what to expect with this year's bracket.
And find out who is about to become the highest paid player in sports history. Coming up. Trout has just signed a $430 million deal that will make him the highest paid player in sports history. Trout's new contract is comparable to the largest contracts across the NBA, NFL, and NHL. This contract was an extension of $360 million that kept him under contract with the Angels for the next 12 years. The 27-year-old center fielder will remain in an Angels uniform throughout the year 2030. Trout has remained very loyal to the Los Angeles Angels. Only time will tell if Trout's desired playoff victory will be in the red and white uniform. The king of NASCAR, Richard Petty, has been joined by Kyle Busch as being one of the only drivers to have 200 National Series victories. Busch earned this last Sunday after winning the Monster Energy Cup Series race at Auto Club Speedway. Busch has competed and won at least one Monster Energy race in every season since 2005. For what's next for Busch isn't exactly clear for the 33-year-old. When asked what's next on his agenda, Busch commented, quote, 250 wins, I guess, the race to 250, end quote.
Now reporter Noah McGee joins us on the Extra Point to talk all things March Madness. Noah, I know that your bracket is filled out and ready. Who do you have winning the NCAA tournament?
And I have picked the Duke Blue Devils to win the national championship and have that one shining moment. Headlined by freshman sensations Zion Williamson, RJ Barrett, and Cam Reddish, they have dominated their competition all year long and have proved that even through Zion Williamson's injury towards the end of the year, that they can fight through adversity despite their youth. And history backs me, however, showing that 5 of the past 7 national champions have had a top 10 offensive efficiency rating, which Duke does at 6, and a top 20 defensive efficiency rating, which Duke also does at 6. Also, some of the important things in March and winning a championship is owning the glass, and the Blue Devils have the 9th highest rated offensive rebounding rate in the country, so they'll crash the glass on their way to a national title.
So Noah, what games should we look out for?
One game I think people should look out for is the Liberty Flames against the Mississippi State Bulldogs. The Mississippi State Bulldogs, led by Quindary Weatherspoon with 18 points per game, I think will go in and probably lose to Liberty, who has the 8th highest ranked defense and points allowed. And the Cowbells will not be ringing tonight in Starkville.
Thanks, Noah.
The NCAA tournament had a huge upset in the first round of competition yesterday afternoon. The number 12 ranked Murray State Racers defeated the 5th ranked Marquette Golden Eagles. Murray State was in the lead for both halves, taking away the win with a score of 83-64. Tevin Brown led Murray State with a total of 19 points, with Marcus Howard leading Marquette with 26 points. The upset has called much attention due to the fact that many fans have expressed how the game has ruined their brackets. If there are any more upsets, there may be a greater amount of madness throughout the nation.
Be prepared to pick your jaws up off the floor. Stay tuned to the Extra Point. You don't want to miss this.
And our favorite part of the show, Going for Two, coming up next. This week's Jaw Dropper comes all the way from Clinton County. High school senior Jackson Harlan just recently became the first Clinton County basketball player in history to be named to the Lexington Herald All-State first team. This is a major accomplishment for both Harlan and Clinton County. However, this isn't the only accomplishment Harlan has made this past year. Harlan has also committed to joining the WKU men's basketball team in the fall. By joining the Hilltoppers, Harlan is fulfilling his dream of playing basketball for a university. Well, it's our favorite time in the show now. It's time to go for two. So, Sarah, we've talked a lot about the basketball team and how they ended their season. We talked a lot about the baseball team, but I think it's time to shine some light on the softball team and how well they've been doing this season. So far, they have a record of 15-5, and that's an amazing start to the season.
Yeah, to correct you, I think it's 19-5, but Kennedy Sullivan has all the glory to this. She is a freshman pitcher. She is doing amazing. In her first game, in the opening game, she had 16 strikeouts and then went on to earn 17 strikeouts, a career high in a game against Samford. So yeah, she's doing amazing. And just to go on and on about her, she tossed a 5-inning outing in the win over Evansville, and that made her the 4th ever WKU freshman to throw an outing in a game.
Well, I'll give major props to her because I come from a pitcher's background. I mean, I wasn't nearly as talented as Sullivan was, but I understand how it feels to be in the hot seat and have the whole crowd watch you. And you really start the game, you end the game, you control the game. So I give her major props for being so successful while being a freshman and carrying the team on her back. So the WKU softball team also plays a 3-part series against Charlotte this weekend. How do you think that's going to go?
There's no doubt in my mind that WKU softball is going to achieve another 3-game sweep. I think if Kennedy Sullivan keeps on pitching like she is and keeps on showcasing her talent, there's no issue with it. Charlotte's record is, I think, 10-15 overall. So, I mean, it's not a very good record. We have 19-5, so I think we have it in the bag, and I'm so excited to see them play this weekend.
Same for me.
All right, that's all the time we have tonight. Thanks for tuning into the Extra Point. As always, it's up.
And it's good.
Have a great night, everyone.